Hey everyone, how are you? I hope we have the right audio. Yeah, we do. How are you all? Happy to be here tonight. Uh, I'm not late. Obviously, you are all late. I'm on time. It is obviously not 9 o'clock here yet, so I'm way early, like several hours early. I don't know what time it is where you are. Yeah, yeah. I hear mornings. How are you, Gambler, DJ? Yeah, that's me. Angela, DJ again, and Mr. Dan Yee. Showruns lead is also here. Cheated no more. Moon Shadow, hey my friend, how are you? Miss Sharon, how good to see you. Jenny's here too. Marilyn Landis. It's 4:37. You are a night owl. You really are. All right, let's get into the very sad news that I woke up to this morning. I think we all figured this was probably where it was going yesterday when the Attorney General in Mexico was saying, hey, we can't really say anything more until we speak to the Australian consulate and or the Australian, authorities. And as soon as they said that, I was like, they know something really bad. They only want to speak to the Australian authorities if someone is needing to be like repatriated and sent home. So it's not great. Apparently, Mexican authorities have now located 4 bodies, not 3, not 2, 4. And I'll explain why there's 4. It says here they've located 4 bodies at a ranch in an area of northern Mexico where 2 Australians and 1 American were reported missing. 3 of the bodies have not yet been identified, but local news outlet Zeta, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, is reporting that the 4th body is that of the ranch owner who had been missing for several weeks. It almost paints an awful picture that I don't know, these guys may have run into people that were already murdering people and committing some sort of crimes, and they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It says here the remains were found in a well more than 15 meters deep, or like almost 50 feet deep, next to a cliff. I'll show you the photo. There's a photo down here. Here's the brothers, unfortunately. There's another photo of their buddy. This is American Jack Carter Road. This is their mate. This is what the photo I've seen plastered around social media of this well or 50-meter hole where they found the bodies in this ranch. That looks like an awful place to be put. That looks like a horrible operation for the people going down there. It looks like they're pumping oxygen down here. This orange tube might be oxygen. They might be just trying to like air it out. There might be a lot of fumes and gases and things like that. They might be trying to aerate it. At least I think, or is it a heater? I'm not sure, but you can see a dude here on a harness going down. Just awful. Not the result I think I was hoping for, at least. There's another photo of it. There's the hole right next to the cliff, like they were explaining, very close to this like beachy area. And what were they doing? They were surfing on a surfing holiday. So not the best news. I don't think anyone, their family was supposed to be flying out yesterday to head to Mexico to help with the search for them. And apparently, I was looking it up. It's not known if they actually made it onto the plane before they found out the news that bodies had been found, or that's an awful way of putting it. Human remains. No, that's worse. Just maybe that possibly their sons had been found. That's better. Yeah. So there's that truck that we showed you yesterday, all burnt out. It apparently matches their truck they were seen driving, and you can see the Mexican officials are seen at a checkpoint in Ensenada on Thursday. So they were looking for people, checking people, making sure nobody's getting in and out. It says here, I saw an earlier report today that they, at the campsite where they found the tents and the blood, they also reportedly found a tooth from one of the men. So I don't know if that helped identify maybe what happened to them, but it just seems very gruesome, very ghastly, and I don't wish this on anyone ever. I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, so Australians 7 News also reported that a tooth was discovered at the abandoned campsite where they found traces of blood and dental parts. dental parts. I often like to leave my dental parts places, you know. No, probably someone has been hit or shot or something. It almost feels like an ambush. It almost feels like maybe they were sleeping because I don't think they made it out of that area, unfortunately. But yeah, so Mexican authorities have located those four bodies at a ranch in the northern area of Mexico, where two Australians and one American were reported missing. And then it seems like this what would you call it? Like the ranch owner had been missing for weeks. Hey, my camera's off. There you go. I'm here. Hey, how are you? Yeah, it's happened before. We've had people go to Mexico for all different holidays and things like that, and random things happen. We've had people go to Europe, Croatia. There was a girl that was murdered and a guy that was murdered a few years ago, maybe 8, 9 years ago now. It doesn't just happen in Mexico, and I don't want to paint that country as some sort of dastardly destination where you're definitely going to be murdered. Bad things happen in all sorts of different countries, but Jenny says, I hope the family knows not to fully trust the Mexican authorities. Apparently, they've been doing really well, though. Apparently, they were the ones who picked up the ball early without the request of the Australian authorities, which is normally the procedure. Normally, they wait for if it's a foreign national, they wait for the country of origin to contact them about an investigation. But the crowd swell on social media was so large that the Mexican authorities were like, we can't ignore this. We have to do something about it now. It was the guy who owned a ranch. That's all the information. I don't have a lot of information on who he is. Maybe I can find some. Hold on. Just that they murdered a fourth person too. Let's see if I can translate this. I can. Let's see what it says. All right, hold on. Give me a second, guys. I have to fix the Google Translate. All right. I think I've done it. So it says the detainees are Jesus Coda, alias El Queques. I can't pronounce Spanish, guys. I'm going to butcher this, but you guys can, if I blow it up, you guys will be able to see it. So it says these are the detainees. Alias has an alias. I want an alias. It says his partner, and to whom they found the cell phone of one of the disappeared, as well as Christian Garcia, brother of Queques. All three were in possession of different drugs at the time of the arrest. So they all had some sort of narcotics on them. That didn't translate, unfortunately. It was on Saturday, April 27th, when relatives of the foreigners stopped having contact with Jake and Callum and Mr. Carter, who were last seen on Sunday in the 28th in the area of La Bocana, as they stopped having contact with the person who rented them an Airbnb house in Rosarito. They were wanted in the coastal area of Ensenada, in the vicinity of La Bocana. So they're saying just they're missing. Okay, there's not a lot of new information on here, but this is the original article that they pulled it from. I got it translated, but it doesn't provide a bunch. My audio has a crackle? Really? What is going on? Hold on, I'll have a look. It all looks okay. Hold on. I can't figure out what's going on. If there is, okay, everyone else is saying it's fine. It's you, DJ. Something on your end, maybe. Because I just checked all the settings, and every time I jump on, I check all three things to make sure there's no issues like we've had in the past. I check the soundboard, I check StreamYard, and I check my actual microphone to make sure it's in the right setting. It's Mr. Muffin, the audio cat. Yeah, it's him. It's always him. Hey, Jen, how are you? It's nice to see you. Peekaboo Cockatiel. You are gringos, so you are accepted there? Fair enough. What is going on? Hold on. Chino says, Ping, my best friend's boyfriend Rudy went to Mexico and was murdered there on a ranch. We never got answers and no people charged. Well, hey, they've already arrested a bunch of people in relation to this one. So that's a good news. Yeah, fourth body was a rancher. I'm going to try find something I can... Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on there in the chat. All right. Let me try find you a better update for these two men. Something where someone else can tell you about it. Let's see. Did you guys have a fun night with Trish? What did she talk to you about? Let's see. Normally our news over here should have an update. 3 hours ago. Okay. If it loads.
First, though, to breaking news, and there's been a heartbreaking development in the search for two Australian surfers and their American friend missing in Mexico this morning. Let's go straight to our US correspondent, Tim Lester, for all the details. Tim, 3 bodies have been found.
Morning, Matt, Sally. Yes, Mexican authorities have confirmed this just in the last couple of hours. The discovery of 3 bodies in the Ensenada region, about an hour and a half south of the US-Mexico border, probably about 4 hours south of here, Los Angeles. The discovery of the bodies apparently near the coast is also in the area where the 2 Australians and their US counterpart, US friend, were last seen. The last record of them going back to April 27th, they didn't turn up at a planned rental accommodation on that day, raising concerns about their disappearance. Since there's been the discovery of a burnt-out vehicle believed to have been used by the 3 as well. 3 Mexican citizens, including a 23-year-old woman, have been taken into custody in relation to the case. No confirmation what their connection to the case is. And this morning, now the news that Mexican authorities have discovered these 3 bodies. They're not saying yet that those bodies have been identified. So no confirmation in this case, but a deeply worrying and perhaps a heartbreaking development. Guys?
And there you go. That's our local 7 News down here. One of our 3, sort of like you guys have CBS, ABC, NBC, and Fox. That's one of our, like, alphabet type stations that we have down here. So in Australia, if you don't know, we have ABC, Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, and SBS. So they're the channels that we have down here on free-to-air. Let me show you something out of America. Apparently, this is even being covered in California, I guess being close to the border. They are taking an interest in it. I noticed on KTLA, the website, they are following it as well. Missing surfers, 1 American, I guess because 1 is American. 2 Australians found dead in Baja. The group was last heard from on April 27th. They're saying 3 individuals are being held for questioning. Official cause of death has not been made public at this time. But you can see there's that region right near the cliff face and that hole. What do they call it? A well? I guess it might be. So they're saying this is the location down here. Wakana surf spot. So they're down there trying to surf some waves. They're saying the Baja California Attorney General Maria Ramirez said it was unfortunate that families did not immediately file missing persons reports. Very important hours were lost. I wonder if that is even doable from Australia, considering they didn't have any family in Mexico. Seems a bit, I don't know if she meant it like that, but you could almost take it like you're blaming the the victim's family for not getting to the police quicker. But from what I understand, they were talking to Australian authorities pretty early on. Maybe it's more the Australian authorities need to pick up their communication with their Mexican counterparts or something. Seems a bit weird that they would be like, oh, maybe the family should have contacted us earlier. It says here, even though the names of the missing service have been published by the relatives, border report is not published them until authorities from either side of the border release them. Okay, so apparently in the KTLA paper, they are not naming any of the people involved, although in Australia they are. I don't know why the difference. I guess they're waiting for formal identification of the remains. It says here, a source with the Baja California Attorney General's office has confirmed the bodies of 3 missing surfers, 2 from Australia, 1 from San Diego, have been found in an isolated area about 150 miles south of the border. And they're saying there's no official cause of death right now. Anything else here? Yeah, see, police from Ensenada on their own said they had started looking for the men when they saw social media posts from families who were trying to locate their loved ones. I think that is a really interesting thing that this doesn't normally happen, that there's such a big thing online that they're like, oh, maybe we should be doing something. I think that is very interesting that the groundswell and movement online may have expedited this process for them rather than going through official channels. Although then they went and said in the press conference, hey, if you went through official channels, maybe we would have started looking days ago. So you can't have it both ways, I guess. It says our source said that when investigators went through the men's camping tents, they found clues that led them to believe that foul play was involved. Now we know that is blood and possible dental remains is what they've said. One person said a tooth. I've seen some other people that said there is other bone fragments. We'll find out in time. Since then, 2 men have also been questioned, including and a woman. All 3 are being called persons of interest and are being questioned in connection with the surfer's disappearance. They're saying the truck belonged to the surfer from San Diego. So that truck that was burnt out was located on Wednesday. It had been set on fire. So that was the American man, Mr. Rhodes' truck. The Australian consulate in Los Angeles and the US consulate in Tijuana and the FBI are reportedly involved in the investigation. Yep, the Australian authorities have quite a close working relationship with the US authorities. Our countries are very intertwined globally, and we have quite a lot of operations where the FBI or the CIA, Homeland Security, whatever, we do a lot of joint investigations with the US, and they probably had some connections there to expedite a couple of, red tape type things. Says they cannot comment on specifics to preserve the sanctity of the investigation and legal process, along with protecting the privacy of those impacted. They said they are in contact with the family of the US citizen, and they are steadfast with our international law enforcement partners in finding answers. Well, I hope we get more answers and soon, because it'd be interesting to find out anything about that rancher. When was he reported missing? And did anyone search for him on his property or nearby? And it's interesting that they had been using this particular well site as a dumping ground. It's very, very callous just to be like, okay, we killed them, let's dump them in a hole. Yeah, this hole looks great. Let's just take the lid off and throw them in. It's a real awful way to deal with people. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for this right now. Yeah, so here, hours before the remains were found, Australian media reported Callum and Jack's parents were flying out to Mexico to help look for their missing sons. It's unclear if they made it on the flight before police announced the discovery of the bodies. I don't know if they would still head out to Mexico or not, or whether they would just stay in Australia and wait for the legal process to play out. I'm not sure, but Jenny says they must have driven down the coast from San Diego. I'm guessing that's exactly what they did. Kid No More says the only situation that still stuns me is when the search was called off for Abby and Libby at nighttime. I don't know why they did that. I'm not sure. Abby and Libby were the two girls murdered in Indiana back 2017. Abby. You would know if I show you the photo, you'll know who it is. These two lovely young ladies, if you remember them. All right, so there we go. So yeah, I will check the date. Yeah, February 13th, 2017. They were murdered on near Delphi, in Delphi, Indiana, near the Delphi Historic Trails, part of the Bridge Trail. So if you ever want to look into that, Gray Hughes has like the encyclopedic video history of this case. He's well into it. He has a great video that has like a flyby of the bridge and all the surrounding areas, which is really well done. Probably one of the best videos I've seen on this particular case. So if you want to watch that, you can go to Mr. Gray Hughes. Chinomore says, we have had a robbery within a mile of our house the other evening, turned into a police chase. 2 men from Colombia. They short-circuited the alarm. Did you guys hear about a heist in California that was done very similar? They turned off all the alarm systems in the place and then drilled into the wall, got through, and then robbed the place. Did you guys hear about this in California? Hold on. There was this huge heist a few weeks ago. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. It was like 30 million bucks was taken. I don't know if they ever found out who it was, or I'm just trying to see if we can get to it without getting paywalled. Yeah. So it says, in one of LA's largest cash heists ever, burglars steal as much as $30 million from a vault. They said it happened Easter Sunday at the San Fernando Valley Money Storage Facility. The burglary occurred Sunday night at a facility in Sylmar, where cash from businesses across the region is handled and stored, not stored. The thieves were able to breach the building as well as the safe where the money was stored. And they're saying that it may have been an inside job because like all the alarm systems went down, and apparently people in the neighborhood said their internet was out for like 12 hours around the time of the burglary. So I don't know if they got into a system nearby or, like a utility and were able to cut it off from the street or something. I have no idea. But they said mystery surrounds the break-in. Sources familiar with the investigation told the Times that a burglary crew broke in through the roof of the Gardewell building on Roxford Street to gain access to the vault. It's unclear how they avoided the alarm system. The Canada-based security company has not responded to requests for comment. The operators of the business did not discover the massive theft until they opened the vault on Monday. Yeah, if we go to the ABC 7, there's a hole in the side of the building here.
Millions and millions of dollars in cash missing. The LAPD and FBI now investigating a huge SoCal heist that happened over the Easter weekend. Eyewitness News has learned those missing millions were taken from a cash vault and armored car facility in Sylmar. Air 7 HD even spotting what appears to be a large boarded up hole on the side of that vault building. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher live in Sylmar tonight with new details on what's believed to be one of the biggest thefts in LA history. Michelle.
Mark, it's like something that you'd see in a Hollywood movie, but that multi-million-dollar mystery playing out at a facility here in Sylmar. The sophisticated heist leading authorities to believe a crew of some kind is behind this brazen break-in. The The Garda World facility in Sylmar tonight at the center of a joint FBI and LAPD investigation, days after thieves broke in and stole tens of millions of dollars on Easter. Officials briefed on the investigation, telling ABC News the thieves got in undetected without setting off alarms through the roof. This Air 7 video showing the building's roof hatch and also a boarded up hole and pile of debris on the side of the facility. It's unclear if that damage is related to Sunday's theft and just how much money was taken from Garda World. But the heist comes almost 2 years after an estimated $100 million in jewelry was stolen from a Brinks transport semi parked at a truck stop on Interstate 5 near Fraser Park.
The seal is broken, and that's clearly fresh cut, and there's clearly fresh work right there. There's fresh work dust.
And to this day, that case from 2022 remains unsolved. As for this heist here, authorities telling ABC News that right now there are no suspects. A lot of unanswered questions still. If you have side of the facility, it's unclear if.
So if you look at that, how did they jackhammer through that wall or use explosives and no one heard it? That's very odd, right? Look at all that, like, rubble from whatever they did to the wall and the vault. Had to be an inside job, right? Had to be. How did they get through $1 million alarm system? Unless they were able to somehow bring it down before they got in there. I have no idea. Laura T, did you get something from me? I haven't even checked, but I can have a look. My very sweet friend. I can have a look. Laura T, I did. Thank you. Hold on a second. Oh, I got an email. Yep. Sorry, I've been reading. That is very, very kind of you. I wish I could show these on the screen. They show like little I don't know, like emojis raining from the screen in my Ko-Fi when I get a donation through it. It's very cute. Thank you very much, Laura T. That is very kind of you. And I want to check. Apparently, I think someone. Oh. This is from Moonshadow. They were in the chat just before, right? Moonshadow was here earlier. Let me see. Is she still here? I'm probably not reading as fast as I should. I know she was here a little bit earlier. I know I said hello to her, but I don't know if she's still here. Moon, if you're still here, I want to thank you very much. She wrote on her message, "Thank you for doing such a great job on my cat Loki's profile. It was hilarious. You are the best. I love your channel." That is very sweet of you and extremely generous of you. That is very kind. You and Laura are very, very sweet. I really appreciate it. Very much helps. Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, thank you very much. And your message I just read out. I do appreciate it. I'm glad you liked your Loki cat profile. We have a few others. I might do them later on when we get more into the end of the show tonight. I have one for a cat named Jet. It's a black cat. And I have one for a Nikolai. One is I have a trial, and one, the Jet one, I have a trial transcript that Reby has made up that we'll read. It looks very professional. I don't know how many voices I can do. There's 3 different people, but we'll see. It says, before the Honorable Judge Ping. I'm a ping. I'm a ping. I'm a judge, apparently. I also, what else do I do? Apparently, I also arrest people and I charge people and I also preside over cases at the same time. It's a lot of work. But we can do that later. That'll be very cool. Moonshadow says, love the channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad people are enjoying it, but the praise should go to Reby. It's all her idea. I'm literally just reading it out. And it was her sort of way of continuing the pet thing that we used to do. We used to have people send in pets and put them up on the screen once a week. But we stopped doing it because we ran out of pets. No one was sending any in, so I stopped doing it. So yeah, she's like, but what if we did pet crimes? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Also, while we're having a little break for a second, I had a lot of emails from people with suggestions for the sign, Reeby sign. Now, 2 people wrote in a very similar suggestion. Reeby actually did as well, but also my friend Kelly. They said you can get these, what are they called? Let me go to Kelly's email. Where is it? Where is it? She said that there's these things called eyelet, something called an eyelet, and you can get them and they you can put them through different material. And she was saying that she uses them and they work quite well. And then we can put rope through it and hang it up. That might work. And I know Reeby had a very similar suggestion about an eyelet. This is it here. She sent in, by the way, Kelly, I did get your email. I won't say what the subject is because you asked me not to. And I won't read it out online. But I have read it. I just haven't had time to reply yet. Just let you know that that's what you told me is very interesting, and you will get a very long reply. It needs a long reply because you wrote a long story. So I will get back to you about that. But thank you for your suggestion about these eyelets. So I don't know what you do. You kind of puncture them through, and then it puts a little metal circle inside. She said if you put a bit of cardboard between it, it helps stabilize it. So this might be a way to do it without fixing it, without breaking it. Sorry, you need to get a gavel. Is that sacrilegious or something? Are you allowed to do that if you aren't a judge? Oh, are you talking about your kitties? All right, let's get back to some true crime. What did Trish not get to speak to you about? Where is it? I saw someone write something about Trish. Sorry, guys, hold on. Okay, sorry, we had a Amazon delivery. All right, let's get back. You guys are talking about the 6-year-old on the treadmill. That story was from a few days ago. We did read a little bit out the other night about it. Let me grab it for you. If you guys really want me to do it, I can. There's a mum unaccounted for. We'll talk about that one too. Let me grab the one about the child. It's this one. I'm pretty sure it's the one she was thinking of is... it's a suspicious death, or not suspicious death, but a New Jersey father is accused of killing his 6-year-old son, claims that his estranged ex coached the child into fabricating stories about the purported abuse. His name is Christopher Greger, 31, killed his son Corey. Now, I think we did read a little bit about this the other day. Let me have a look. If I can find something for you about it. Christopher Greger. I'm not huge into doing child abuse type, things, but trying to find like a quick breakdown that I can show you. I can't find anything I like, but okay. Says, who is Christopher Greger, the New Jersey father who allegedly tortured son with gym sessions and now in trial for his murder? Chilling text revealed Greger's cold reaction to being confronted over abuse. He told his son's mother the boy needs to be a little tougher. Greger is accused of abusing his son Corey, only 6, to death in 2021. They said, amid outrage over footage shown in court this week showing Greger's forced Corey to run and fall from a treadmill, archived text messages from the boy's mother allege him coldly brushing off his treatment of the child. After she texted about how he hurt Corey's feelings, Greger responded, Maybe he needs to be a little tougher because that's soft tissue. Why do they all do this? Here's a little boy. What a cute little kid. It says here, here's the text messages. She says, "Hey, not a big deal. I just wanted to let you know that Corey came upstairs and almost crying because he was trying to ask you about playing football in high school and you smacked the ball out of his hand and walked out." And he says, "Well, that's a lie. I smacked the ball out of his hand and he didn't say a word to me when I was leaving before or after that, but I did it as a joke and said bye. Tell him if you wanted to ask me a question, standing there and asking is not the way to ask." What? That confuses me and I'm 40. What do you mean? You don't want people to stand there and ask? Yeah, he says standing there and saying nothing is not the way to ask. He's a child, you absolute loser. He's a child. You're the adult. Remember that. Says here, no, I heard him talking like I said. It's not a big deal. We'll see you later. And then he says, no, I mean, it is a big deal because that's beep and not true. But if Miss racking up all out of his hand makes him cry, maybe he needs to be a little tougher because that's soft tissue. I'll see you around 7. She says he wasn't raised to be unemotional, so he's not going to change. I heard him talking and then something hit the floor and then nothing. So I went down and asked him what happened. And then he says, well, that's a big difference than him coming upstairs almost crying. Also, being unemotional is vastly different than being over emotional. She says again, he's not over emotional. You hurt his feelings. You got him upset. He's 6 years old. I like this mum. She knows what's going on. It's a shame that he died from his injuries, unfortunately. Wow, look at the poor kid's eye. Like, he must have beat the crap out of him. It says here, it's unclear when McGregor and Corey's mother, Brianna, who testified at his trial this week, first met. However, he was reportedly not in the boy's life until he reached 5. So he died at 6. So a year after him returning to the boy's life, he's dead. Great. He did just fine for 5 years without you, and then you came back for 1 year and he's dead. Congratulations. You're great at killing children. Says here, on their first meeting, Corey allegedly returned home to his mother with a busted lip. Great. That should have been a first sign to never take him back. She said she didn't believe Gregor's excuse that he accidentally kicked their son while playing soccer, but said a DCPP caseworker accepted it and didn't investigate. For over a year after that first meeting, she claims Corey was routinely abused by Gregor and reportedly suspected the father was using a treadmill as punishment during their visitations. Wow. During that time, his LinkedIn profile said he worked as a realtor and a maths teacher, with his past work experience also including volunteering at mental health hotline for 6 months. Is this the guy you want volunteering at a mental health hotline? The guy who abuses children? What is he going to say? Yeah, I think you probably should continue with what you're doing. I think it's a great idea. You're just a little soft. I don't think you should, I don't think you mean it. Call back next time when you actually mean it. Like, that's exactly probably what he would say. Says before his arrest, Gregor lived in a sprawling New Jersey estate valued at over $1 million, according to online records. It says here, McColio set up a Facebook group after Corey's death in April 2021 called Justice for Corey, where she shared harrowing pictures of Corey's injuries while claiming Child Protective Services ignored her pleas for help. In text messages shared to a Facebook group around 6 months after Corey's death, Gregor was seen coldly responding to being told he made his son cry. Yeah, that must be these messages up here. Up here where she tried to stand up for him, but I guess she tried to tell him, hey, he's not unemotional. He's just a kid. You hurt his feelings because he's a little boy. That's it. It says, let's go down here. There's another photo of him. What a cute little kid. Should have grown up and been a baseball player or something. There's another one of his injuries apparently shared to the Facebook group. He's got a busted forehead and he's got marks on his nose too, and down here. Looks like that's a pretty bad contusion for a little boy. Oh, geez. That poor kid. It says Corey came upstairs upset, almost crying. Yeah, because that's the message we read out before about him wanting to ask his father about playing high school football, and he just basically smacked the ball out of his hand and made him cry. Let's have a look. So that's a photo of him, Gregor, a realtor and maths teacher, staffer in a nursing home, and a volunteer for a mental health hotline. All of the things he does for work, except for the realtor, seem to have a pattern. If he's a maths teacher, he's around children. If he's a staffer in a nursing home, he's around the elderly. And if he's a mental health hotline volunteer, he's around people who are vulnerable. So all of these things that he does for a living, apparently, seem to have a pattern. Does he like being around people he can feel superior to? And I wonder, because why would he choose all these random workplaces for someone who apparently is a realtor? It's almost like he just wants to be there as a power trip. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying. But here's the video. A sickening moment. Father forces 6-year-old son to run on treadmill. Trigger warning. Big trigger warning. Let's watch it. That is just awful to watch. I don't know what father thinks that is an appropriate activity to do with your son, but that is ridiculous. Why is it going so fast? He's a little kid. That's like what athletes do. Athletes run that fast. I've seen them on the football documentaries, and even they struggle to hit the treadmill going like 30 miles an hour. That is ridiculous. And when his son jumped on at the end there and then got whipped and then smacked his face on the treadmill, he was just like, get up and do it again. I mean, can we just go back to medieval times where we can just beat these people in the town square for doing stuff like this? Can we just all get a big stick and just beat them after they're convicted? That'd be great. Let's do that. Let's go back to that. I'd love that because they need some eye for an eye. Jenny Allison says that is major torture. No child can keep up with that. I don't think that's all he did either. You can see the injuries on the child. He has internal bleeding. He has a busted eye. He had a busted forehead. Apparently, he had really bad inflammation and internal injuries by the time he died. It's just awful. These people shouldn't be allowed around children, really. Hey, Maureen, it's very cruel, extremely. Jojo says, yes, I want a pitchfork. Okay, you join my pitchfork brigade. Thank you. Vote for Ping. When are we marching? We'll have to get a date, probably when he's sentenced, and then we'll go up there with our giant sticks and beat him. He died from internal injuries and just not being treated and stuff like that. It's very, very horrible. Very, very horrible. That jerk didn't know they were being recorded. I bet that coward was surprised. I just don't see how you think this is appropriate under any circumstances for any child. I don't care if you think, oh, my child is going to be a D1 athlete. Not by doing this, he won't. Not by traumatizing him with workout equipment, he won't. You got to do this slowly. you know. Anyway, I don't think it was about sport or whatever. I think it's just control, abuse, and he likes humiliating the little boy. I don't think it's about athletics at all. I think it's just about abuse. That's all. But yeah, how long is his trial going for this complete loser? How long? The alleged abuse ended on hours after. Yeah, let's have a look. Gregor, 31, was initially charged with child abuse before the charges were escalated to murder almost a year after his son's death. Let me see if I can find out when it's supposed to be heading back. Oh, it says although. Just trying to see if are they still in trial or what part are we at with it? There's his mom, Brianna, on the stand as a witness. Let's see. Jersey Shore Online. Let's have a look. There's a photo of her and him when the mum, I'll show you. Look at that cute photo when he was little. Had to be about 3 there, you reckon? About 3? What a cute photo of him and mum. Sorry, I had to cough. Guilty, yeah. Throw the rocks at him, and the tomatoes, and the pitchforks, and the fire. Throw it. You know what? I learned something interesting the other day, right? In America, I can have this opinion of this particular this guy, Gregor. I can say stuff like that. I can say he's probably going to be found guilty. He deserves it. He's an asshole. If I say this about an Australian case that's in court, I can get done with like a bunch of different things. It's very different, Australia to America. In America, you guys have a freedom of speech, even with court cases. But in Australia, you can't do anything that could prejudice the jury. I couldn't say this about it. Like, with the Murphy case, if I was like, that dude's going to fry, he's going to get like 50 years in prison, they could actually pull me in and charge me with like polluting the case and the jury. It's very interesting that you could do this in the US, but you can't do it here. And that was explained to me why we don't have court TV or law and crime in Australia, and it's because they can't do those type of shows here because they're just the show would be boring. You basically just have a camera staring at a courtroom, just going, "Yeah, they're in court today." We have no opinion over anything we've seen today. They just have to report the facts, and that's it. And that's why we don't have that type of coverage down here. Yeah, the trial's happening now. Yeah, I was just wondering if they're heading back on Monday. That's what I mean. Are they heading back on Monday or they closed? Let's have a look. Oh, isn't that cute? Says Brianna set up a Facebook page entitled Justice for Corey that has more than 16,000 followers from places as far away as Australia. Hello. She continues to bring attention to Corey's case by setting up rallies and daily social media posts. She said, I also hung up signs in a couple of towns saying I was looking for information about Corey's death. They don't mention Chris's name at all, yet I have pictures of his mother and sister tearing them down in Monroe. Yeah, because obviously, you know what they say about apples and trees and things like that? So it says in November, Brianna and her mother, Rebecca, faced municipal court charges brought by David Gregor. The paternal grandfather claims that Corey's mother and maternal grandmother began harassing him on or about April 3rd, the day after the little boy's death. So she should. She's trying to find out answers about her son's death, you psycho. It says here, a recent fundraiser allowed Brianna to retain a forensic pathologist to review the case on an independent basis. The young mother has also purchased a plot in the same cemetery that serves as Corey's final resting place, so she can be laid to rest with him when she passes. How cute. And that must be like a little, little shrine to Corey in her home. You know what they say, no parent should ever have to bury their child. And it makes it even worse when it's at the hands of another parent. Let me see if I can find anything about Monday for you. I mean, actually, maybe someone put it in chat and I can't see it. Let's see. Yeah, so Court TV does have a listing for it. I just saw it when I was looking myself. Here, I'll show you. Hold on, that's not it. That's not it, Ping. Sorry, I have like 200 things up right now. Yeah, search Corey videos. So here. So you can see here, Court TV and Law and Crime both have different coverage of the trial. So if you want to watch the trial when it is on, head to Court TV or Law and Crime Trials or lawandcrime.com and check it out. They do a great job over there. So if you'd like to watch it, it says here, just 6 hours ago, they did a treadmill abuse murder, Corey McCollio's last day alive. So they retract that. I can't play their videos. I got a letter in the mail stating, please stop playing our videos on your channel. So I can't play them anymore. We used to, but we're not allowed to anymore. They basically just said they're copyrighted and they don't want it on any other channel but their own. And I was like, well, fair enough. Kathy Lynch says, once the Aussie court case is over, can you speak freely about it? Yes, to an extent, because there might be a retrial. There could be a like an appeal. So you do have to still be careful, but yeah, you can. Is that an alarm? You're watching a video? Okay. Sorry. I don't think they would have heard it anyway. Yes, you can watch it later. Head over to Law and Crime. Good thing his mum took him to a pediatrician the day before he died. He had bruises and things, but didn't have the internal trauma. I know, right? It was that poor little boy. I can't imagine what it was like to have to do the last few hours of his life. I mean, horrible. That's a good point. Like I said, apples don't fall far from the tree a lot of the time. I'm not sure. Like I've said, I haven't watched this. The only reason I brought it up is because someone said Trish was supposed to do it and they wanted me to do it. I have no idea. I haven't been following it. So this is literally just me showing you an overview of the case. So I don't know. Because of my previous life, I don't watch child abuse cases and they're hard for me to cover. So I don't tend to do them just because they just hit a little too close to home. Yep, another race says, I could not figure out why I was on another channel. Now I realized I took a quick break with the video. That's all right. Hey, Clayton Judd, how are you? Clayton says, I think they're both guilty, the mum and the dad. You think the mum is guilty because she didn't get him help like soon enough, like weeks before, or she didn't try and stop visitation earlier? Okay, I'm happy for people to have their opinion. Four Sons' mom says he had gone to his dad's for visitation. Thank you, Four Sons. I appreciate it. That's all right. Hey, I'm still here, aren't I? We're still here. We're still alive. We still get to wake up on this beautiful earth every day. We've got things to be happy about. Oh, who knows? Who knows, Jenny? Probably be well, you could see from the some of the injuries that I showed you before. Where are they? If this is what you can see, this type of stuff, what is it that you can't see? And how bad is it? Here's the jerk face's image, and there's that video of him on the treadmill. He really smacked his face when he got whipped off that treadmill. I don't know if that caused anything. It might have been this injury here. Possibly this might have been from smacking his head on the treadmill. That looks like a plastic burn or like a friction burn. But let's see. There's a photo of him more recent, and there's a photo of mum and son. So apparently, a forensic pathologist ruled that Corey's cause of death was homicide due to chronic child abuse, including blunt force injuries. There you go. Forensic pathologist. Smarter than all of us, mostly. I'm not as smart as a forensic pathologist. I'm just going to trust what they say. How horrible. All right. No more child abuse. I can't take it. There you go. There's your overview. You want to see more? Head to Law and Crime, or what's the other one called? Court TV. They got a great coverage of this particular trial. There you go. I did a little bit for you, but we're going to leave it there because otherwise I don't want to be sad for the rest of the day. I mean, true crime brings you down anyway, but trial cases are the worst. All right. We've got a missing woman. I'm going to try to do this one. Her name is Dana. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. Dana Lee Mustian. All right. So this is from a while ago, and they're still looking for her. I'm going to play you the older video, then we're going to read the update from today.
My husband was the last one. He dropped her off at her house, and she said, "Daddy, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow." And that never happened.
That never happened. That's the mother of Dana Mustian, who went missing more than 2 months ago, back on November 30th. That weekend, there was a birthday party for her 6-year-old daughter, but Mustian did not show up. The search started out slow, but over the weekend, the Warren County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina conducted a massive search. They spent hours looking for Dana in the water, on the ground. They even used cadaver dogs, but still the search continues today. Dana's sister-in-law, Megan Mustian, is with us. Megan, I know your heart is breaking with unanswered questions in your sister-in-law's disappearance. Tell me about the search this weekend, the most recent one, and any clues or evidence turn up that lead you all in one direction or another.
Yeah, the search, we talked with the detectives after the search was done, and they found absolutely nothing, unfortunately. We've done, in the past, over the past 2 months, the community and the family has done ground searches as well from places, we've heard, maybe she's here, maybe it's here, but we've absolutely found nothing.
I mentioned a moment ago, Megan, that the search got off to a slow start after she went missing. Why is that?
We honestly don't know. It's like she went missing without a trace. We've talked to, where she was last seen. The detectives have, tried to talk to any rumors or tips that have came in, and we absolutely have no leads. It's like she just disappeared from the face of the earth. We have no idea where she is.
Yeah, and it's so hard to follow a trail when there is none to follow. Tell us about the last contact someone had with Dana.
So on November 30th, her dad dropped her off at the place that she was staying. She was living with a friend. And he dropped her off, and the last thing she said to her dad was, "I love you, Daddy. I'll see you tomorrow," because she was supposed to come and stay back with them for the weekend for the birthday party for her daughter. And that never happened. And that's the last time we've seen or heard from her.
There we go. I lost my place. Anytime a mother misses their baby's birthday, that always just throws up red flags for me. Says Dana never showed up for her daughter's birthday, held the first weekend of December. I mean, that always is a worry. They said they even used cadaver dogs, but still there is no sign of her as the search continues. I'm trying to see here. She's been missing. It's a long time now. She went missing in November 2023. It's like she just disappeared off the face of the earth. Mustian failed to show up to her daughter's birthday party. That's a big one for me. Anytime you get a mom that misses a kid's birthday party, that's a big one. I don't think there's any mum on earth who would want to miss their child's birthday party. I mean, it's such a big deal for them, especially for the mum. When you think about it, it's the child's birthday, right? But it's the mum's sort of special day too, because it's the day they gave birth to the child. So for them, it's a very important day as well. Not just to celebrate the child, it's also to celebrate not her own achievement as such, but more like, yeah, they were both there on that day. So of course, it's special for them both. It's the bond that holds them together. It's when she brought life into the world. So I mean, anytime a mum like that misses a 6-year-old girl's birthday, no, that is very odd. Says they use cadaver dogs, but they still don't have any sign of her as the search continues. Her sister-in-law, Megan, told News Nation their family spoke with detectives after the search was complete, finding no clues as to where she is. They said they found absolutely nothing. They said she doesn't quite know why the search for her sister-in-law got off to a slow start, but Megan said it's like Dana went missing without a trace. Yeah. They said it's just like she disappeared from the face of the earth. We have no idea where she is. Mustian was last seen at her Dorothy Drive home in Warrington, about 10 miles south of North Carolina-Virginia border, on November 30. She'd been dropped off at her home by her father, according to her family. Mustian reportedly told him she loved him and would see him the next day. However, that wasn't the case. The family continued trying to contact her, only for her phone to repeatedly send their calls straight to voicemail. A missing persons report was filed for her on December 4. So what's that, about 5 days later? They filed the missing person report after 5 days. Says here she was the life of the party. She knew everybody and everybody knew her. Bubbly and always on social media, Dana shared everything about her life to the internet. She never had shown concern for her safety towards her family, and her sister-in-law finds her disappearance baffling. Detectives have not recovered Dana's purse or cell phone. She has multiple tattoos on her arm, ribcage, and her back. She has blonde hair and is about 140 pounds. She also has her ears, tongue, and navel pierced. There you go. Authorities said they weren't able to find any leads Saturday. More search efforts could be launched in the future as the investigation continues. And a member of the community has offered a $5,000 cash reward to help find her. But that was a while ago. I don't know if that is still valid. That was February 6th, 2024. So that was a while ago. And let's listen to some more of the video with her sister, Megan, on here.
What was going on in her life, Megan, prior to her disappearance? Had she shared anything with anyone that she was having concern about her safety?
She has not. She was very bubbly. She was always on social media. So she shared everything about her life on social media. And, she had just spent time with her parents that day. And, we never heard anything about, her, fearing and safety of anything. It's just baffling.
Yeah, it is. Did she take anything with her? Has her cell phone been recovered or pinged? How about her wallet or credit cards?
We got the belongings that were at that house that we know that she had with her, or that she had at that house. But however, we don't have her purse or her cell phone. None of that was found. To our knowledge, none of it has been recovered yet.
Okay, and a car or a vehicle?
She did not drive. She did not have a vehicle.
As I mentioned, it was her daughter's 6th birthday party, and that is the party she didn't show up for. Her daughter had this big weekend planned. I know it's been really hard on that little girl. What does she know about her mom's disappearance?
She knows that her mom's missing. She prays for her every single night that she wants her mommy home. At first, she didn't really understand what was going on, but we can see now that her behavior is starting to change and it is taking a toll on her.
Anything distinguishable about your sister-in-law, her appearance, tattoos and things that people should look out for?
She does have multiple tattoos on her arm, on her rib cage, on her back. Other than that, she's just blonde hair, about 140 pounds. She's got her ears, her tongue, her navel pierced. That's it.
How about more searches, Megan? What is planned in the days and weeks ahead?
We as the family don't have really, and we're letting the sheriff's department take over the searches. And since they conducted this last search, I'm not sure if they have any more searches planned. But as the family, we're just taking a step back because we honestly have no idea where to even try to search next. But we are following any leads or tips that we find out about. We are searching ourselves for it and making sure that these tips aren't the missing puzzle piece to this case.
Horrible to hear from her sister Megan there. I mean, it's been almost, what is it? Today's May. It's been about 6 months since she went missing. Half a year that she's been gone, and no one has any idea where she might be. Now, I had a quick look on Google. This is the Dorothy Drive address. I'm hoping this is the right one. This is in North Carolina. It should be close to the border. Hold on. It is in Warrington, I think. Yep, Warrington there. So it should be close to the border. So if we go in, this is her local area. I mean, I know this is true for a lot of different places in America. There is a lot of bushland. Look. A lot of different bushland around her home. But they're saying they have searched a lot of these. There's water. It's a couple of big lakes or ponds type thing here. Some water. What's this? A racetrack of some sort? What is it? A track and field type thing? Yeah. And then a high school. Warren High School. Her street is a dead-end street by the looks of it. It sort of goes down here and that's it. It ends. It's like a backwards J. It sort of goes down there and then nothing. So there's 133, 129, 125. There's 2 on this side. 3 here, 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's only about 10 homes on her street. That's it. There's not many, but there is a lot on the other side. If you go through the back of these properties here, you end up at another laneway here called Wilker Lane. And there is a bunch of other properties here too. You would think if she had walked through the bush here and ended up on this lane, someone would have seen her maybe. It is a little odd. It is how to be fearless, temporarily closed. What is this? Is this her business? No idea. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Stupid thing. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that's her area. I don't know what to tell you other than it is a lot of search area. Maybe she's still out there somewhere. What is this funny looking thing? Some sort of water trough or like water thing? It's a very odd shape, right? It's like they just went, yeah, that'll do. Doesn't have to be symmetrical. Let's just dig it and see what happens. Might be for cattle or something. Maybe this had cattle here at one point and they just have this for water to like give them water. That's all I could think of. I have no idea. I'm not a farmer. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea where she could be or how she could have got out of this area. If you do, you let me know. But I'm going to look up something else. Missing. We looked up a missing trucker the other day. And then that particular one, Brian Lush. You guys remember Brian Lush? We spoke about that the other day. I was just going to see if there's an update. No. There is no update. I don't have an update for it. Just that he is still missing, apparently. Let's see if I can play this or not.
The Petro Pass truck stop in Summerston, Ontario. It's here where Brian Lush's last known movements were captured on a security camera. This photo is Brian and his daughter Chloe at her high school grad last year. Here in Coldbrook near Stephenville, Chloe White and her brother Jake White want everyone to know about their dad, a quiet family man.
He's very loving and caring, and he's a gentle giant. He wouldn't hurt anybody, so if you see him, don't be afraid. He loves music, and he loves his family.
Chloe and her family have all gathered here at the family home, waiting for the phone to ring. Ontario police call 3 times a day with updates. Lush was last seen here over a week ago. He spent a couple of hours here, grabbing a sandwich and a milk. But he walked away from his truck at one point and hasn't been seen since, leaving his phone, his belongings, his prized ball cap behind.
Everybody who knows him knows he would never take it off, even just in the house. So it was very odd.
While Lush's oldest son, Brandon, is in Ontario now, his son, Jake, came home from school on Monday. He says it's been a rough year for his dad. Brian Lush lost his mom in January. His wife, Jake and Chloe's mom, is quite sick. It's been a lot to handle.
He didn't want to go on this trip just because he wanted to stay home with mom, and probably just so much going on in his life, and it might have been just like, stress. Some people just have a breakdown because, again, he doesn't speak much. He doesn't really let out his feelings, so he's out there somewhere.
Jake White is confident the police will find their dad. It's just a matter of when. Earlier this week, police called with hopeful news. A man who matches a partial description of Brian Lush was last seen here, along the westbound lane of Highway 401 near Boundary Road in Cornwall. And for now, they play the awful game of waiting. Gathered at the family home with everybody waiting for those phone calls from the police in Ontario with any type of news. Colleen Connors, CBC News in Coldbrook.
Horrible to hear from his family. I mean, his daughter and their son. I mean, that must be very hard. Like, it's the not knowing which kills you, right? So they have no idea what happened to dad or why he'd disappear. But it's sad to hear that he lost his mother and his wife is quite ill right now. That cannot be easy on any man or any woman for that matter. But it must be very difficult. Sorry. Yeah, prayers for Brian Lush and his family. I mean, they just look like good working class people that just ran into a weird situation. Now, what did she say in that video? She said there was a man seen who might match his description. Where is that?
From the police in they play the awful game Boundary Road in Cornwall. Brian Lush was last seen here, along the westbound lane of Highway 401 near Boundary Road. Partial description of Brian.
401. All right, let's have a look. No, that's not it, right? No. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to find the right one. We've been to it before. I think it's this one. No? Is it this one? Hold on, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look up the area. My thing. Where is
Brian
that?
Lush,
He's out there somewhere.
police will find their dad. It's just a matter of when. Earlier this week, police called with hopeful news. A man who matches a partial description of Brian Lush was last seen here, along the westbound lane of Highway 401.
401 east-west. Okay. No, I'm gonna have to do it a different way. I know we looked it up at one other time and we got there. Okay, Petro Pass Truck Shop on Country Road in Somerton, Ontario. Come on, map. All right, here we go. All right, share this tab. So he was found here, and then they said on the 401. This is the 401 right here. That's that highway I was when we last looked at this. I said this is the main arterial nearby this highway, the 401, and it goes forever. Look, it basically stretches from, you know, Montreal all the way down to the coast. So, and further up into Quebec and other places, you know. So it's a main arterial. You get on this road, you can go basically anywhere. They said on the westbound, what did they say? Westbound. Near Boundary Road. Boundary Road. Let's see if we can find that. I don't see a Boundary Road. Not close to here anyway. Is there one further up? Boundary Road. Let's go south a little bit. Purcell Road, Boundary Road. Geez, he's a while away. If that is true, there's Petro Pass, the gas stop where his truck was, and he's all. Alright, we can do it. Hold on. If we do here, measure distance, and then we go all the way down here, and there we go. It's about 5 miles away by the crow flies from where his truck was located at the Petro Pass truck stop to where they say there was a sighting of someone that matches a partial matches a partial sighting of Brian Lush. There we go. I didn't get a tongue twister that time. There's Boundary Road. There's the 401 East and the 401 West. So they're saying he's on the west side, this side, and Boundary. So he's somewhere here. They said they saw him on this shoulder. So somewhere here. I don't know what that means or how he even got there. Did he walk? And why would he leave his truck? He's got a good truck that he could use. This is all a bit odd. Why would he just leave his truck all the way at the truck stop up here? His truck was parked here and left here at this big trucker, place. Let's go down. No, don't do that. Let's put him right on the corner there. Yeah, about 5 miles, they're saying. Might be a little more if you walked it, because you can't walk through, the bush and that. You have to go around. So it's probably closer to 8 miles. Yeah, this is very odd. Do you think he maybe just had a breakdown because of all the traumatic things that are going on in his life at the time? Yeah, they found the truck without him. His truck was here at the truck stop. But then they said there was a sighting of him down on Boundary Road on the west side of this freeway, all the way down here, about 5 miles away, on the 401 in Boundary here. So quite a distance away. I'll show you from the red dot up here is where his truck was, and this is where the sighting of a partial match to Brian is down here. Quite a while away. I mean, if it was just like on this freeway, like just here, I'd be like, wow, it's just down the road from his truck. Yeah, that makes sort of, I get it. But 5 miles away? Oh, I don't know. Why would he be down here? And why would he be on the shoulder? Why would he be here where there's an intersection from Boundary and the 401? Isn't the 401 where they filmed that show, Ice Truckers or whatever? And they're like on the 401 on the conch or whatever, and they're like driving in the ice and snow, and the trucks crash and they close the 401, and I have no idea. I watch the 401 sometimes on the Weather Channel. I think there's 2 shows actually. Thanks, Kathy sent me a cold case. Jefferson City missing child still open after 41 years. David Warner. Look, all I can say is I hope they find Brian Lush. I really do. His family seems like they really need him right now, and like his kids want him back, and his wife being not very well could use him being at home. It's funny, the kids were like he didn't even want to go on the trip because he wanted to stay at home and care for his wife. And then he goes missing while on the trip. It's very odd. Maybe he was gonna. Maybe he wanted to quit the company, and then his mate's like, "Just leave the truck there, mate. I'll come pick you up and I'll get you back home to your wife. Don't worry about this stupid business. They can deal with it, and I'll get you back home to your children and your wife." Maybe that's what happened. I don't know, but I hope they find him. It's showing a petrol station across from where he was seen off shoulder of road. Really? Let's have a look. Because this is the truck stop here. Let's have a look. Let's go down. There's a Walmart Logistics here. There's a Petropass truck stop down here too on Boundary Road. Maybe it's this one, but they said it was on this road the other. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's this one. If it is, then it's even closer. I'm not from the area, guys, so you can blame me. But there's another Petropass here. Maybe it's this one. Boundary Road. If they saw him on that one, then he's only like 2 meters away. That might be more right. There you go. Maybe I typed in the address wrong. But there's another one here where they have, look, all the trucks. When was this taken? 2024. What day? Can we get a day? No, don't do that. How do you clear measurement? There we go. Imagery 2024 Airbus Maxar Technologies. We don't have a date. I thought maybe his truck might be still here. Maybe it's that one then. If that's the case, and they saw him here in the west side Boundary, it's like 10 meters away. It's literally just here. But again, why would he leave his truck? I don't get it. Unless he was running away. But it seems like he has a bunch of children and stuff like that he likes and wants to get home for. They got a big dirt patch here for more trucks. I don't know. You can see they all come in here and then they turn around and then go back out. What's this used for? I have no idea. Almost looks like another giant parking lot. And they just sort of park up here overnight. Get some food or whatever. Oh yeah, they got a scaling thing here, cat scale. Truck stop, Boundary Road. All right. Yeah, if that's the case, then it's only 10 meters to the west side of that the Ontario 401 West. If he was found on that corner, which is what they're saying in that video, does that lead him home? If he's on the west side, does that go home? Where's his home? Where's he from? His family just outside of Stephenville, NL. Newfoundland, Stephenville. Where is that? Let me try and find it. Oh, it's a while away. I don't even know how to get there from... Oh, geez. He's freaking from ages away. I just looked it up on the map. Which map are we on? This one? I've lost my maps. Oh, we're on this one. Okay. So he's from over here, right? Newfoundland? Over here? Does the westbound take him home? If we go to westbound, and then we follow this all the way up, could he get home from here? It goes through Montreal, Nova Scotia. Yeah? I'm saying maybe yes? I don't know. My my geography of this area is bad, but I would say if you're going west, it might be closer to home. No, if he's going west, he's going further. Well, if he goes east on the west, maybe. Yeah, I'm guessing he could get home from there. I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to get home. Maybe he's worried about his wife and now he's got lost. I don't know. That's right. You're watching a hockey game. Okay. Yeah, what time is it? I can't even see. 3:04. Yeah, we've been on like an hour and a half. It's late. It's like, what time is it in the US? USA East Coast. I can't do math. It's too hard. It's like 1 a.m. So it's 10 p.m. on the Pacific time. All right, we're going to pack up. Oh, really? Cheater No More says, my next door neighbor totally tripped out and was overwhelmed and was supposed to see me the next day. He went missing for 3 years. He disappeared himself to Alaska. He did have a lot of trauma in his life. Like his wife is very ill. He lost his mum. Maybe he's got work commitments that are causing issues. I don't know, but I hope they find him. His kids look very distraught. You know, this is his son, and then his daughter was on here too. There's his daughter as well. They look like they really would like their dad to come home. There's the still frame, actually. That's when he went into that gas station, and I think they saw him go in. Then they saw him out the front of his truck, and then never seen him again. It's like he disappeared and just went poof into thin air. So they just don't know. Hopefully he turns up and he's like, yeah, I went for a beer. It was like the longest beer ever. I'm fine. Let me grab my truck. You know, we all need time out sometimes. Maybe that's what he needed. Let's just hope it's not anything like, no one hurt him, is what I mean. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I love you so much. You guys are, ladies and gentlemen, and Octopus are so amazing. We'll be back tomorrow for another show. Sorry I wasn't that prepared tonight. I was not expecting Trish to only do like 40 minutes and then just jump off. She's been doing like 2 hours all week. And I was expecting her to go past into 2 o'clock. I was expecting her to go into 2 o'clock. And she just jumped off all of a sudden. And I was like, everyone's going to quickly try and come to my channel afterwards. And I had to get ready very quickly. So a couple of stories I wanted to do I didn't have set up, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that. But we'll be back tomorrow night. Do you know what tomorrow night is? tomorrow night is Cold Justice. It's the final episode of season 7, and we're getting the part 2 to the one we did last week, which is the quadruple homicide. It's a quadruple homicide on Halloween in Pendleton. Now, it'll be really good. This final episode looks amazing. Some of the trailer they have shown for it, if you haven't seen it, it is very interesting. Some of the behind the scenes of how this all went down is very, what's the word I'd use? Not what has been reported in the media. Some of the things I saw, I never had seen anyone write about, and there might be some backstabbing going on. There might be some underhandedness that is taking place between husband and wife. You guys want to see a husband and wife almost roll on each other in a police investigation? You might be able to see that tomorrow night. No, we'll be on straight after Cold Justice on Saturday night. As soon as Cold Justice airs, it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern. It goes to 9 p.m. As soon as it's finished, I'll be on. We go straight away after. Yeah, right after. As soon as it finishes airing, I'll be on. Yeah, put it in your reminders, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, or tonight if you're already in 1 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, we're going to get a part 2 to the Pendleton quadruple homicide with Amy Velarde and her husband, Ross. It's going to be very interesting. I know a lot of people already know the ending, and that's fine because it has been reported in the media since December. But I don't think that's what the appeal of the episode is. The appeal is to see how they did it, how they got through the investigation, and what happens when they tried to confront them with the information that they thought they might be the killers. So we'll find out. We'll find out. But we'll be back tomorrow night, and I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be fun. Hey, I want to thank these people before we go. I want to thank my friend Moon Shadow. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I want to thank LMS as well for the other day. That was very sweet of you. My friend Sean, it's very cool. I hope your new iPad is treating you well. And Laura T and Emily Narb and Sienna. You guys are all going to go on the list for this month, and I got to make a new video. I'm going to try find a new time-lapse imagery for you, and it's going to be fun. By the way, one quick thing before we go. Shoot, this was actually what I wanted to show you. Here. Hopefully we don't get credit smacked for this, or what do they call, like, the thing? A storm chaser in Texas yesterday saved a family after their home was blown away by a tornado. It's actually the tornado I showed you on the show last night. It was in Hawley, I think, and it blew away their home, and they survived, but they got blasted out of their home by the tornado, and this storm chaser was right behind the tornado, and as he turned to check on them because he saw it hit a property, and that's what storm chasers do. If they see it hit a property, they stop and have a look, see if someone needs medical attention. Oftentimes, storm chasers are medically trained in first aid or disaster recovery, and they try and help where they can. But this guy got them to hospital, and they survived. It's really awesome. Watch this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's people. There's people. Get in! Get in the car! Get in the car!
Please, God help!
Open the door. Get in. Come on, guys. Get in the other side. Other side. Come on. Come on.
Please get us. I need your.
And you can see that giant tornado in the background. Look at that thing. That thing just tore up their property, and this was in Texas yesterday. You can see, look at that giant friggin' stovepipe or whatever it is, just tearing up. Look at that debris field on the bottom. Went through their home, destroyed it. You can see it in the end of that video. There is not much left. Let me pause, mute it, and I'll show you. Look at that. That's like, I know it's a little hard to see through the windshield, but all this scrap all over the ground, that was their home. That was their property, and it's gone. This tornado just blew it away, and they came running up to the car with, look, you can see here, the mother and her child. She just needs help. And Freddie McKinney, legend from Severe Studios, just did the right thing. He's an actual hero. What an awesome dude. And it's nice to see a positive story about storm chasers for once, because we get a lot of negatives. And very cool. I know the little boy, apparently I think he had a busted arm or something. Very, very horrible. But yeah, that story just blew my mind when I saw it overnight. Freddie deserves all the accolades from everyone around the world. Yeah, we get tornadoes down here, but not as common as in the US. Like today in Texas, it was a 2% day, and you had like 7 tornadoes. It was a 2% day. Wasn't even high risk. It was marginal risk or something. 2%. And they had like 5 tornadoes in the Panhandle. Pretty bonkers. Yeah, here's a hero, Freddie McKinney. Great dude. And very calm under pressure. He was just like, get in the car, I'll take you to hospital. And they all piled in, and he got them to hospital. They survived because of him. He was there before emergency services could be. And that is a good thing. Yes, there's different, but we just call it a tornado. We get hurricanes too. We get cyclones. So in the Indian Ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, on this side, it's called a cyclone, because once you get below the equator, it spins in the opposite direction. It's a Coriolis effect, makes everything spin the other way. So our cyclones spin the other way, and the category rating system is slightly different to the US hurricane. The scale is slightly different to the way we do it. But yeah, very similar what they are. They're just in different parts of the world. In Asia, they call it a typhoon. Australia, we call it a cyclone. And in America, they call it a hurricane. So they're all the same thing. They're just named differently in different oceans and parts of the world. But that's it. But we call a tornado a tornado. A storm is a storm. There's no difference. But our tornadoes do spin the other way. So when you get a anticyclonic tornado in the US, that's how our tornadoes spin normally. There you go. Bit of weather trivia for you. You'd hope so. I mean, just last week we heard of a man who died after he went into his basement to hide from a tornado and got crushed to death, I think, from debris from his home. Very sad. Hey, Bullseye, giddy up. You live in Florida. I had no idea. I had no idea you lived in Florida. That is breaking news, Bullseye. Breaking news. Breaking news. I had no idea. That is brand new information, according to Friends. If you watch Friends, it's like, that is brand new information. And they're like, you knew, right? You knew. Yeah, we knew. That's pretty funny. Are there sea spouts too? What is a sea spout? You mean what do they call it now? Now you got me thinking. They don't call them a sea spout. It's called a water spout. A water spout? Yeah, we have water spouts down here too. But you can get cyclonic or water spouts that are formed from, they're sort of more like a land spout. They're connected from like the water up through the rising heat. Then you can get ones that are done through like a mesocyclone, which is the same as like a thunderstorm one. Those form over water. They're both the same, both considered a waterspout, but different. One can be done from thunderstorm, one can be done from what we call fair weather clouds. Just different classifications. Oh, all right, I'm boring people. I'm going to get out of here. All right, bye. I'll get out of here. All right, sorry, I didn't want to cause you any things. All right, peace out. Hey, love you all. Peace out. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.